Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is the Locker Gnome Daily Reporter, TLDR for short, live, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for joining. I've got at least one of you waiting, Airwolf28, who is quite active in the Discord server. Everybody's welcome to join. It's free, it's public, it's interactive. And very often, you'll find out what I'm going to be covering in TLDR. If you go there, you will see what I'm thinking about before I actually say it in video. It's amazing. But Airwolf came in with the first comment. I gave you a thumbs up. Thank you. That's awesome. So I got one thumbs up before even doing the live video. That's amazing. That's one of you. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and just jump into the main topic of TLDR tonight. Yesterday, I was in Best Buy looking for the new Hot Wheels vehicles from the second wave that allegedly had been released in other Best Buy stores across the country. A couple of different vehicles, one from the Mandalorian, and I think a new Resistance X-Wing, Pose X-Wing, and then a third one whose name eludes me for the moment. But anyway, so I went in there, as I'm keen on doing. I go to Best Buy to look for toys, Star Wars toys. What do you go to Best Buy for? And they've got an exclusive coming up, the 6-inch IG-11 from The Mandalorian. Yes, I have that on pre-order. Saw yesterday that they were setting up a Pixel 4 display. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to have the phones out. So I said, all right, made a mental note. I would stop by there this evening. And so I did. I went there this evening, and indeed they had the Pixel 4s. In fact, right behind me, you can see the Pixel 4 that I touched. Took this picture, by the way, with the Pixel 3 or 3XL, whatever. But I thought it was funny. I mean, don't you think I took a picture of the Pixel with the Pixel, right? So I how do I stage this? It's great. That's the easiest way to put it. And this is just an initial impression, like, wow. Moving from, a Pixel experience, a brief Pixel experience, in the grand scheme of things compared to, let's say, the experiences that I've had with iPhones over the years. But, I tend not to think of the Pixel as hardware. I tend to think of it as a gateway to a better software experience. And I was instantly enthralled because of one feature that I've said is the killer feature, and I'm not just saying this because, Team Pixel, the refresh rate. The 90 hertz smooth display screen, whatever they're calling it. I'm not the only person to have perceived this, but the difference is staggering between, and don't get me wrong, I think the Pixel 3 has been a great performer for me in terms of smoothness, and comparing to, let's say, an iPhone 8 running the latest beta of iOS 13. Oh, remind me, I figured out, and I posted it to Discord too, there's a tweak. I think I figured out how to eliminate or greatly diminish the jank on the iOS 13 Springboard sideways swipe. Remind me if I forget. I'll mention that. But first on this Pixel. So I must not have spent too much time on it, but enough that I kept opening an app and swiping around and gesturing. And I can tell you, never having used the gestures, the new gestures in Android 10, they were mostly intuitive. Mostly in the sense that I was able to navigate and did not have, did not have a hiccup in terms of, let's say, a frame drop or an animation skip or something that felt like, oh, this is just not polished. But I didn't have to think. I just gestured. I'm like, wow, that's exactly kind of what I wanted to do. It was a little bizarre. So the gestures were solid. That was my first impression. And then I came home and then saw the news that on the Pixel 4 at least, Android 10 will be supporting, with the gesture controls, supporting third-party launchers, which is amazing news for Action Launcher people like me, or Nova Launcher, whichever launcher you happen to use. So it was fluid. I hesitate. I'm not going to say fast because I didn't perceive it as a speed thing, like a markedly different. I would have to use it like in terms of like my regular workflow to get a better feel of whether or not it was faster. It was capable. It felt capable. It was snappy. It was fluid, and that was you know, a very nice first impression. You know, there are some things that I think could still be improved upon with software. Specifically, I went to, I think it was YouTube, which could be very well the app, and the Android app for YouTube is questionable at best. They still haven't picked up the new design language like a lot of the other Google apps have, but specifically like with their icons. I noticed that the app, I don't think rendered as well as it could have, given that it was waiting for everything to load by way of the network. I think it was just the way that the graphics loaded. It seemed like it could have been done in a smoother way. It was fast, but when you go from a smooth type of animation to one that's not like a system animation, it's more jarring on a screen that generally performs well. So, you know, I kind of scrolled around in different apps, and it was smooth. As I have become mostly accustomed to on the Google Pixel 3, or the 3 screens, certainly. And when I say smooth, I mean, it is just, it's markedly different on a 90 hertz, that's 30 frames per second more or higher than a 60 frame per second vehicle, right? Or a screen, right? A vehicle for your content, a vehicle for the software. And I can tell you definitively that I went playing with it, was playing with it for a bit. I knew that it would be a challenge to wait for this device because I still have my 60 frames per second, 60 hertz smartphone, as most of us do. But that's something I need. Like 90 hertz or higher. Once you see it and feel the snappiness, that's a great software experience. That's all I want. That's the only thing I want, is a great software experience. And so I want to go back tomorrow to visit my Pixel 4. It's not mine. I'm going to adopt it to do a few more things. I want to scroll around in web pages to see, you know, if the fluidity on that is just as clean, if only to kind of get a better feel for you know, did I notice any other kind of jutteriness that may have been undue or potentially due to lack of software optimization, which, you know, you could peg third-party developers for, even if they do work at Google or for Google. But generally speaking, the operation of said device was fluid. It was clean. It was difficult for me to walk away. I was like, oh, I gotta have it. I'm like, I gotta leave. I can't. In fact, I hovered for so long because I wanted to try, maybe not every app, but yeah, kind of scrolling, opening, tapping. Everything was instantaneous. I mean, granted, this is a floor demo model, but it performed amazingly better than the floor demo model of the iPhone 11 Pro. And when you put this, here's the thing. When you put the two side by side, the difference will be more staggering. Now, I know everybody out there is all like, oh, but the iPhone 11 Pro look at the benchmarks. Look at the specs. It's got 3 cameras and, you know, other things. And a notch. Let's not forget that. No doubt, the iPhone 11 Pro is definitely notchier than the Pixel 4. But the difference, I think, between the two can be staggering, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that's really pointing this out. There was some, I caught some reviewer, you know, a nerd, saying, oh, I'm not happy with the Pixel. I'm like, okay, well, everyone's got their reasons. But he said, I don't know about the 90 hertz refresh rate. I'm like, that was like a record scratch. Like, are you kidding me? Like, side by side. Oh, man. The difference is night and day. It's like going from an LCD to an OLED screen. Like, the difference is just, it's palpable. So, my experience was fluid. fast enough for operations. Like, I didn't have to wait for anything. Apart from, like I said, the network loading on the YouTube app, I think was a little wonky. But I can't blame the phone for that. You know, that would happen on any phone. So, I was just really pleasantly surprised that this is potentially the solid software performer coupled with a great camera, and that's the thing. And I know OnePlus gets a lot of credit and credit that's well due in terms of software performance. The problem is that OnePlus hasn't paid much attention to their camera because I guess their user base doesn't care. I care about that. I care very much. In fact, the only thing I'm really looking for, like in what's out there and what people are talking about today, the people who have Pixel 4s, specifically is imagery, right? What images are they taking? So I've got a few more samples that I pulled from the web that I already shared on Discord, which I'll get to in a bit, and we'll do some screen sharing here. I had fun doing the photo comparisons yesterday, so we will get to that again today with a couple more samples. But, everyone looks for something different in a smartphone. What's for me is not for you, is not for everybody. No doubt about that. I did not get the orange one, Corey. I did not. I went pure black. Pure black. I did take a sample photo just to kind of mess around with the sliders. I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of fiddling around. Not a big deal. This is where I also noticed another animation problem in the camera app that I may file as a bug report, but I'm going to kind of stack them to see if I notice any other anomalies. When you open up the settings menu on the camera, which they moved to the top, which is fine, it kind of flies down and 60 frames per second, but disappears at 90 frames per second. You can see the difference. Like, one of the reps at the store, Best Buy again. Sorry you missed the top of the show there, Dennis. He was asking me what I thought and all this. I'm like, I told him everything. He said a lot of people last year returned their Pixel 3s within the first month or so. He said, you know how many returns we got? Because of the memory issue. Because there was a new memory management system that shipped with the Pixel 3, and until they tweaked it, it was a problem, and a lot of people had a lot of problems with it. So a lot of Pixel 3s got returned. I'd imagine a lot of those concerns are allayed a year in. Certainly with 6 gigs of RAM, should be ample or ample enough. I guess I haven't had too many problems with my Pixel 3 that other people have. I don't perceive it as an issue. Some people have mentioned battery life. I guess that's also not a terrible concern of mine, if only because I stay charged frequently throughout the day. Here's the funny thing, Josh Frey. I didn't even bother with motion sense. Like, the thing that they're, like, teasing, I'm like, this isn't the feature you're looking for. See, that's what they need to do. They need to do the whole Jedi mind trick, like it forgets your last command. I initiated the Google Assistant. Clean, seamless, powerful. Like, this is a software phone. Like, this is what every single gadget freak out there gets wrong. This is a software phone. That's my opinion. Google probably wouldn't like that. Because you need the hardware, right? But it's all about the software, people. It's all about that software experience. And it's Pixel and everything else at this point. Yes, Dennis is going, I'm telling you, go, and you let me know what your first impressions are, because I was happy. I was excited, disappointed that I had to walk away. But I'm not going to say a Pixel fan for life. I'm not into those kind of allegiances. But, oh yeah, absolutely. Zero doubt in my mind, this is a massive upgrade over a Pixel 3 for the screen refresh rate alone, and then certainly more RAM. That can't hurt. But yeah, it's an upgrade from every other Pixel. Hell, I'd say any other Android, but I don't use a lot of Android devices. So don't turn to me for that kind of advice, because I don't have any. So yeah, my impressions were very positive. I was really kind of excited. Dude, I didn't even get to try everything. I didn't, the motion sense, I gotta try that tomorrow, I guess. Google would agree with that since they don't mention specs in their events. Yeah, but specs are nothing. Like, does it run well? Does it run smoothly? Are the transitions clean? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this is a software experience. Then you layer on top of that all the other Google services, and it becomes even better. That's where I think the Google Assistant is the killer app. Especially when people say, "Oh, I'm going to switch to the iPhone." I'm like, okay, that's on you, but man, Google Assistant's just getting better and better and better and better. Battery life doesn't concern me. Battery life's never been an issue. I've used my phone regularly through today, calls and watching videos and everything. I'm at 73%. It's just not an issue for me. It never has been, though. It never has been. I just don't. If I can get through 5 hours, I'm good. I can get through 5 hours. Everyone uses their phone differently, though, so it's completely up to you. So if you have any other questions about my first impressions, keep asking, and I will address them as I see them. Can you change the refresh rate, or is it always that way, Chris? You can. You can turn off smooth scrolling, which will improve battery life, but why? Why? Like, don't turn it. I mean, you can, but why? Like, so, no, like, man, I would rather have 90 frames per second. I will tell you, I'd rather have a phone screen operating fluidly at 90 frames per second, 90 hertz, for 4 hours, than a 5-hour phone operating at 60 frames per second. That's my preference. 6 hours. I'd rather have the time that I'm using my device, I want it to be good. There have been other bits of news that have been cycling, including some things that Google absolutely needs to address, specifically with the face unlock. They need to change a few things that they haven't really committed to in terms of that security model. Google hasn't responded as well as they should have responded to that. They've responded in a very non-answery way that puts it's one of the flagship features in question, which I think could very well hurt sales. It's Google's choice. I think Google's nuts for doing what they're doing. They basically right now, what reviewers are seeing, so to speak, is that you can do a face unlock even with your eyes closed. So the idea is that you can hold it up in front of someone who's sleeping and unlock the device, or someone who's dead and unlock the device, right? And that's not exactly secure. So, Google hasn't really said that they're going to address this. They said, well, we got software updates and it can happen. Okay, and then you've got a whole bunch of third-party apps that may not have updated the API to Android 9 or higher, so that they're calling a generic biometric authentication rather than a specific fingerprint authentication. So some apps may not work automatically unless they've been updated to take advantage of the face unlock. So there's some FUD that's circling already with the Pixel, and I think that's going to diminish the prospect of people getting it. Is that stopping me? No. It's an issue, yes. Can it be fixed? Yes. Is it a showstopper for me? I guess not. Because I think you can double authenticate with something else. Obviously not a fingerprint. There's no fingerprint reader. But that's one hell of a calculated gamble there, Google. It's a weird choice to make, but that's you. Joshua Austin says, I've had the Pixel phones, all Pixel phones to date. Ordered a Pixel 4 XL. Only disappointment is no unlimited full res photo storage on the Pixel 4. That's my response. Like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Doesn't bother me a bit. It'll never bother me. Never. It'll never bother me. Evil Space Games asks, is the camera as good as they say it is? According to samples, yes. OnePlus 7 Pro or 7T? I don't know. I haven't tried the new one. I only have the 7 Pro. I may actually do, when they update it to Android 10, some camera comparisons between the Pixel 4 and that OnePlus. If only to show just how good the Pixel is and how not great other cameras might be. I don't buy smartphones, and I'm not going to spend the money. Because I know people are going to want me to do iPhone comparisons. I'm like, all I have is the iPhone 8 Plus. I'm not going to drop more dough on a phone I'm not going to use. And I'm not going to buy one just to take it back. That's kind of unethical. One question. On the Pixel 4, what's the back gesture? I saw that on other phones, the back gesture interferes with another gesture in some apps like Twitter. It's a swipe to the... It's just a jump to the left. No, wait. It's... First you step to the left. No. First you jump to the left. And then you step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Bring your knees in tight. Come on. No other Rocky Horror Picture Show people out there? Come on. So I swiped back, and it was pretty intuitive. It can potentially conflict with the hamburger menu, slide out menus, but there's actually a trick to that. If you want to pull out the menu, swipe from the bottom corner, and it'll pull out the menu. Otherwise, a back gesture is just going to swipe back. I think it's something to get used to. I guess a lot of people don't actually swipe to pull the menu open. I've done that, so that may take some getting used to, but, you know, not a horrible... I don't think a horrible change, but the trick is if you want to pull up open a side menu, if it has a backwards gesture, swipe from the corner, like angle it in at the corner of the screen. FYI. Would Pixel ever come out with an XXL size phone, John? I have no idea. Discord app, back is hamburger menu and settings. Oh, okay, interesting. I will get into that when I get Discord going on it. Only thing that bothers me is the trade-in value for the Pixel 3 XL. Dude, okay, sorry, don't go through Google. There's plenty other ways that you can trade it in. I'm getting like $300 for mine. Like, you just look around. I'm not going to make any recommendations. Look around. You can get good dough for your old phone. Doesn't cover all the costs, but that, coupled with the $100 gift card that I got, not through the Google store, but from another retailer, like, I'm saving money on a pretty solid upgrade, in my opinion, but I don't collect devices. I don't. It's not my thing. So, let me go ahead. There's Liz. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the, and you've got a Boba Fett icon on your name. Did you see that? You've been a member of this channel for a year. Dennis has got, the Stormtrooper helmet. We'll see Liz in Discord sooner or later. Again. Let me go ahead and jump to this screen share and show you. This is that's the photo I took earlier. Same photo, I just got it adjusted differently. I'm not going to zoom in on this. Hopefully it will work. These are some sample images that I found from the web. I want to do this photo comparison, some side by sides. One individual, and again, all credit's due to them. I don't have the device, so I really can't do testing. I suppose I could do testing in the Best Buy store, but that's a little weird. I put the credit right now in Discord in the Google stuff forum in that channel. This first set of photos, I think it came in from a user known as Billy Kyle, and hopefully this is going to work. When I was testing it earlier, it did. Hey, it worked. Okay, so first up, we have just a regular shot. This is a Pixel. And I mean, nothing out of the ordinary here, and you know, nice shot, you know, an average shot, you know, probably a shot that I wouldn't have taken or kept, but a shot nonetheless. I want you to keep an eye specifically on this particular building right there. So it goes from that shot to, I believe this is a 2x to 4x shot. So there's that building again. I'm gonna scroll to zoom in. Hopefully it'll come out loud and clear. So here we go. So this is a standard zoom that you'd find on just about any smartphone camera that has a zoom lens. Not bad from that far away. Not bad. Then to the 8x. Like it's not perfect, but the fact you can still see the slats that far away. You can see the slats there on the cathedral, or the spire here. That's insane. That's insane. Is it perfect? No. There are other areas of the images that are muddy, or muddier than I would, you know, probably prefer to keep. But given a choice between, from that particular position, would you rather have a wide-angle lens or a zoom lens? Right? I'll go a couple. Granted, I'd rather have both, but either way, let me go ahead and zoom in a little further. Just to show you there, it's not the super sharpest shot, but just picking out that level of detail, specifically in that building, I think was kind of amazing. Just that you can still see these separated slats. Incredible. So that's the 8x zoom. Not bad. I don't know how frequently I'd use it, but now I'm going to jump over to, this is from Andy and Notco, who you should also be following. Here we've got a very nice dinner. Looks rather amazing. Delicious, right? This is a beautiful shot. This is really, it's a great shot. People love taking pictures of their food. Just going to go ahead and zoom in. Crisp lettuce there. Tomato, yeah. I mean, I think this is a great shot. Like I assume that's chicken, right? It's a very nice, very nice, very, very, very nice. Except one thing. Just about every photo that I've seen from the iPhone 4, especially in less than prime lighting situations, always seem to have this yellow hue to them. Look, okay, for example, take a look at this glass of water here. They're like, if you can't tell by the plate, look at this glass of water right up there in the corner. And then look at the plate. See how, look, it's just this warm, like the fries seem to be the same color as the chicken, seem to be the same color as the bread, kinda. Then you flip to the Pixel, right? And the fries are definitely stand out. The chicken, the white meat, right? Definitely looks white meatier. You know, unless you like yellow meat. Who likes yellow meat? I guess you might. You know, I'm a vegan, so don't ask me. Either way, I feel the details in the shot on the Pixel 4 were just as good. And better. Because that's a white plate. That ain't a yellow plate, man. It's a white plate. Yellow plate, white plate. Yellow plate, white plate. So here's the thing. I know a lot of iPhone people are all like, yeah, but deep fusion. Man, you can deep fusion all you want. You're gonna have the most amazingly deep fusion photos with a yellow hue. Like, it's like the Apple camera photo team hired someone from The Simpsons. Needs to be more yellow. All right, we're on it, boss. We will do that. I mean, come on. Come on. It's crazy. So forget this. I understand deep fusion. Would it be nice to have? Yes. Would you rather have, and this is, I'm sure it comes to everybody's got their own choices. Me? I would rather have this color balanced shot of the plate in front of me with all the food than a deep fusion, and I'm not saying he's using deep fusion here because I don't think he was, or I don't think that was the intent of taking the shot. But you'll have deep fusion with a yellow hue. Have your deep fusion with these warm tones. Okay, you can have your 60 frames per second deep fusion with warm tones. I'll be on the 90 hertz white balanced plate non-deep fusion phone. Thank you very much. We all live on a yellow plate. No, I was trying to, like, submarine sandwich. A yellow submarine sandwich. A yellow submarine sandwich. Does this restaurant do takeout? That's true. I didn't. Yeah, that's pretty good. Someone said that he had one fry missing in one of the shots. I think they're about the same. But God, look at that. God, if you can't, I'm sorry, but if you are sitting there and you blind testing, and if you honestly say this is a better shot, okay, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. Like, this is, I'm white. I'm white. Like, the Stormtrooper, I'm white balanced here. The Stormtrooper, my arm! Here, hang on. We're gonna do the Stormtrooper white test here. Like, it's closer to my white here, this pixel shot. This is a total unofficial test, right? Oop, wrong one. Michael, I assume that it was all point and shoot. I assume anything that anybody does is point and shoot. But this, to me, is probably the biggest. And this is not the only one. There are examples after examples of people posting on social right now who have access to the Pixel 4 and who have iPhone 11s. I have neither. So I've kind of got to kind of eat off the plates of others, if you will. But what I've seen over and over again, and there are differences. I mean, I've seen like outliers where, wow, that's a good shot. What I'm interested in is seeing, okay, this is a great shot, but how much of a better shot could it have been? You understand what I mean? Like, oh, this is a great shot. Well, that's impressive. I don't know what camera took the picture. I don't genuinely care. But between the two, the thing I like about Google is they say, we'll address it in software. Will they? I don't know. Can they? Yes. Should they? Absolutely. But this, it may not have deep fusion, but I am deeply impressed. And I'm a vegan. So the fact that I'm impressed by, look at the chicken. I'm making everybody hungry right now, aren't I? Look at the chicken. Look at the fries. Look at it. Look at the holes in the bread. Right? Like, you can see a clear difference between this fry and this chicken. And even, a bit of the bread is slightly darker than the chicken. Can you see how it's just slightly darker? Right? Just ever so slightly. Subtle. Right? Okay. So, here we have the orange-a-thon, right? The yellow-a-thon. This is me viewing the image straight up as downloaded directly from Andy Inako's Twitter account. Looks dry. Full resolution or close to it, certainly. Same screen, no camera tricks. Straight up. Like, the fries almost look flat, honestly. And there is difference, like it's you either get a lighter orange yellow or a slightly darker orange yellow. And these tomatoes, they're reddish, sure. But you can actually see different colors on the Pixel, and it's white balance. This is one of the things that he talked about in the presentation. Like this. This is why the Pixel has been on the right track with software from day one. And they, as far as I'm concerned, at a distance, are on the right track with the Pixel 4. I don't have it yet, obviously. I got my case. That's it. Don't actually have the device. Everyone else seems to have one. Me, the crazy vegan downloading pictures of food on the web. Andy Inako, I think, took stellar shots. But look at that. I mean, how can you... Like, it just... Okay, it's stuff. But, like... this, to me, is probably... out of all the other photos I've seen, this is... probably the most dramatic difference that I would say is people take pictures of food all the time, right? Nuts! I'm not, dude, this isn't me hating. I don't hate. I don't care. All I'm doing is saying, look, this is my Will Smith impression, like, how he's like, just look at this. I don't even have to say anything. I mean, but example after example after example has been like this. Example, and I told you, like last week, I said, a lot of when the iPhone 11 came out, people were comparing it to last year's Pixel. There's a reason for that, because there's nothing wrong with the Pixel 3 camera, inherently. It's great. This makes it even better. And that white balance is easily the number one feature of this camera. Forget wide angle, forget zoom. White balance. Number one feature. Number one feature. Zero doubt in my mind, the white balance. Everyone out there is arguing about, wide angle versus zoom. I will probably use the zoom. Could I use wide angle? Yeah, absolutely. But I told you about my trick, right? This is I will have a wide angle on the Pixel. Someone did a demo shot of this the other day, but I couldn't find it. This is how I take wide angle photos on my Pixel, and how I will take wide angle photos on my Pixel 4. First thing you do on the Pixel, and many people know this if you're Pixel users, you double tap the power button. That opens the camera app. See how it flies open? That's pretty amazing. And then what you do is you double tap the screen or whatever when you have that keyboard screen shortcut set open. And then you hold the camera out. And with the Pixel 4, it's just one lens, right? And then you would basically take the picture. Or of course, on the Pixel 3, you just do... This is hard to do if I'm not looking at the screen, right? You just pinch to zoom out, which a lot of people didn't do. So there's your wide-angle camera on your Pixel. Okay. Done. We have a wide-angle camera. Just happens to be on the front. I don't know. Y'all want to argue specs. Okay. Knock yourself out. Knock it. Is this on a spec sheet? You ever going to see this kind of comparison on a spec sheet? Man, if I was Google, I would license this from Andy, because this is this is stellar. Oh, stellar. Now y'all got me hungry. Talking about, I know, I'm putting food up here. Thank God Diana made stuffing tonight. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Cheap, too. I find all the ingredients, like when they're on sale, big bushels of like celery and carrots. I was telling Dennis about this when we got together the other day. I told him how to save all the money. I scrimp and save. I save money left and right. It's crazy. So any other questions? I'm gonna get rid of the food here. Those are the only photo shots that I could find today that I wanted to talk about. Let's try something. Did this work? Maybe not. Weird. I was looking for something else to happen. Oh, I know why. Give me a second. Hang on. I tested the Pixel 4 XL at the Best Buy. There's Edgar. Edgar did the same thing I did. I know what I need to do right now. Give me a moment. I will read the comment as I'm tweaking. This is the problem with being your own producer. Tested the Pixel 4 XL at the Best Buy store versus the Pixel 3 XL, and the 4 is definitely much better. Huh? Screen is much brighter. That's something I didn't notice. Speakers are louder. Didn't have a chance to test it, comparatively, and sound richer. Awesome. Speed felt the same. See, that's the thing, is like I don't know if I'm going to be able to detect the speed as well as others might, or until I get into using the phone specifically with my particular apps and my particular configurations. Stadia available November 19th. Yeah, that's exactly what they announced at the Google keynote or presentation the other day, which is cool, I guess. I got the chat to work here, so I needed to change something, and I did it, so thank you for bearing with. Did I get to review the Stadia on the Pixel? Did they have it there? I don't think they had the Stadia in the store. I haven't used it. Not yet. I was worried about screen brightness. I know it's a common complaint among reviewers. Yeah, I can see why. When you need it bright and it's not. I haven't tried it yet, or at least extensively. That's something that I've never really noticed. I know they talked about DisplayMate. It has a great rating or whatever, but I don't know. Stadia DOA, that remains to be seen, but I'm very excited about mine. I don't care if you have to plug it in. Okay, and ... Oh! This is what I gotta tell you. This is what else I have to tell you. Victor, in terms of the thoughts on the Face Unlock, I kind of covered that briefly earlier in this broadcast, so I'd hesitate to repeat it. We only have so much time. I tried for the first time, I tried the Switch Lite. And, wow! I jumped into Tetris 99, of course, and I almost walked out of the store with the Switch Lite and Tetris 99. I was this close. I'm like, oh, I played it. I did so well, but I'm not used to the controls, right? And so I jacked up a couple of things, but I made it, even not being familiar with the controls, made it to top 5 before I topped out. But I am seriously considering getting a Switch Lite and Tetris 99 just for Tetris. This close. I'm this close. I'm thinking I can wait for possible Black Friday deals. But yeah, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. I have to play Twitch 99 or Tetris 99. Speaking of Twitch, I beat Cuphead last night with an A+ game on El Diablo and King Dice. Recorded it, posted it in this channel. You can watch it if you want. Perfect game. Perfect game with El Diablo. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, of all the times to have a perfect game streamed, that was it last night. Unreal. Unreal. Alexandra asks, Trish, what do you think about color calibration of the screen itself? I tend not to notice those things. I know other people do. I guess I'm not a screen aficionado in that sense. Frame rate, yes. Smoothness, like in terms of fluidity, yes. In terms of color reproduction, maybe not so much. Or let me put it to you this way. I think my screen is on natural. Is that right? Like, I don't have on Android, you can boost the saturation. I turn all that off. I'm like, it's too much for me. It's too saturated. So, hey, if it's great, cool. I'm in. Miguel says, video performance and audio have not always been great. Hopefully they've addressed it this time. I don't know. I haven't seen too many tests. By comparison to the iPhone, which sounds a bit more rich, the Pixel is definitely more, like tinny sounding by comparison. By default with the onboard mic, I don't think that's changed at all. It seems to be more optimized for speech recording than anything. I should get the Tetris effect. Well, I should get VR. That's what I need to do. Is the bottom speaker on the front or bottom? Well, this is the case for the Pixel 4 XL, and you can see I assume 2 speaker grill holes at the bottom. There's your charging port. So I assume that. Disney Plus 11/12. Give us more Star Wars content. Jose Lopez, I'm on it. I thought about doing like reviews of the old Disney movies. Wouldn't that be fun? I love the old Disney movies. I love them. Or just talking about them. I just love them. Love them. So yeah, you're going to hear in TLDR like Mandalorian talk. I'd even be inclined to do the same with Resistance, honestly. I love Resistance. Anything Star Wars, I'm in. Thank you for bringing it up. I love you. Still looking for a few of the collectibles though. The newer wave, and the next wave hasn't even come out yet. So yeah, stay tuned for more Star Wars. I don't know if I've got anything new today. Don't tell anybody. I have a reputation to upload. I'm just looking at the comments here to see if there's anything else to pull out. Would Google ever come out with a Pixel Lite smartphone? Yeah, it's called the Pixel 3a. Speakers, the front plus bottom. Oh, Edgar's done some testing here. When I grabbed it, it didn't really block the sound off. One of my major concerns was audio too, but after testing, it was very surprised in a good way. He was very surprised in a good way. Yeah, I guess, to me, I try to think of my use cases, and I don't think I'm going to notice that much of a usability difference. If it sounds better, great, I'm in. A louder speaker, awesome. Yeah, this is my Pixel 4. This is, here's the thing. Made by Google replied to me when I said that I saw the Pixel 4, wow, 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 and then played Tetris 99 on the Switch, and they said all fun and no games or something like that. I favorited it. We're like, okay, they know I'm on Google's radar, and trust me, my feedback for any kind of animation snags like the one I've documented, I will absolutely do my best to get those addressed. Any thoughts about iTunes now being on Roku's? I don't use iTunes or Roku's, so no. The Pixel 4 is a smarter smartphone than anything else out. That's my estimation. Honestly, that's my story. The Pixel is a software device. And I think that's the story that nobody else seems to be giving. Like, they're all concentrating on the hardware and the specs and the speed and the comparisons and, you know, the features, yes, like the gestures and stuff, but, like, let's go deeper. This is a software story. This is easily, at a distance, a leading software phone. And I would say rivaled by what OnePlus is doing with Android. Rivaled. Because OnePlus does pay attention to software. It's just that they haven't quite cracked the whole camera code yet. Apparently that's a challenge for them. Battery life has me horrified. Yeah, you know, but I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. I'd rather have a better experience and lower battery life, because to me, battery life isn't necessarily the only part of that experience. I'm always charging though. Even right here, I've got like a USB 3 cable, and I'm at what, 71% now? So I can plug it in, rapidly charging. I'm good to go. I don't know. And then when I'm in the car, it's plugged in. It's not a fast charger, but I'm generally okay with it. And then when I travel, I always have battery packs on me, always. So the faster Google Assistant with the local speech recognition could be a game changer. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the thing that I don't think iPhone users understand. They talk about, oh, I'm locked into iMessage or the Apple ecosystem. I'm like, dude, you have not tried like something apart from Siri, and you don't know how good it can be. I'm talking about like on-device experiences, and this is what makes the Pixel my type of phone, because it's a software-oriented phone. It's software, and that's a huge part of the story. Huge, and people just gloss over it. They ask questions like, well, does it have a wide-angle lens? I'm like, does it have an assistant that you don't want to like throw out the virtual window? Or a dedicated button that you want to remap, you know? Not naming any names. Those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings. I'm not shy when it comes to sharing, obviously. By the way, I'm not going to be doing... I don't think I'm going to be doing a Twitch stream tonight. I thought about doing Tetris. I wish you could stream easily from the Switch, or the Switch Lite, man. That would be like, yeah, I'm in. They should have done that. But the battery, that would kill the battery life. Kill it. That's a 5-hour battery life device, and I would play Tetris that long. Seriously, I would spend $200 just to play Tetris 99. I'm stupid. I am stupid for saying something like that. I'll wait until it's on sale. And maybe that when they fix, I guess they've got the drift is also an issue. Slightly. Todd, I was able to test the assistant briefly. I just said, what's the weather? In fact, I kind of grumbled it. I'm like, what's the weather? Because I didn't want to look like that guy in the store, like, hey, what's the weather? Right? It worked. It was fast. It was, I mean, squeeze. I use the squeeze gesture all the time. All the time. Like, consistently use that. I'm a big squeezer. How do I like the Switch Lite? I'm ready to buy one. I just need it to go on sale. By the way, there's the link here to the Discord chat server. Right there. The link is also in the video description. You can tap it. As well as becoming a member to the channel and everything. Look at that. Not Todd's comment. Sorry. This one right there. Not Liz's comment. This one. Okay. But it's fun to do it this way. Everyone's welcome to join. We have different rooms available. Oh, I did promise I wanted to talk about fixing Apple's iOS 13 animation jank on the Springboard. So this is something that I discovered today as I was like swiping. I'm like, why is it that the second screen of folders seems to animate better than the first screen? I'm like, well, the only difference between these two screens is that I have app icons outside of folders on the Springboard on the first screen. And I thought to myself, I'm like, huh, well, so if the animation's smoother when I go to a screen that doesn't have an app icon outside a folder, they're all in folders, What happens if I put all my app icons in folders? And surprise, surprise, I would say that it didn't completely disappear, but a lot of the animation judder on iOS that I've experienced on iOS 13 largely disappeared. Still kind of there, but it was better than before. So put all my recommendation if you have iOS is put all your app icons into folders. It's a better sideways swiping animation. Whether or not you can see it, I don't know, but it's true. So I found that out. A little tip for you, all you iPhone users. I don't know. Are there any iPhone users watching tonight? I don't know if there are. It's difficult to say. Let's go ahead and pop back to chat here. Did it seem faster than the 3 now that it's working on the device? Todd, I couldn't tell. I didn't spend enough time with it. In terms of operations, I was able to tap around quickly. I mean, like, go from here to there, swipe back, go up, down, tap, open, launch. Like, it was rapid. But in terms of speed, I really got to use it side by side with the stuff that I'm used to using. The hardware they put it in is excluding millions of people in India, though. Yeah, I heard. I guess Google didn't apply for a license or whatever. Something like that. I'd imagine it's something legal. I have no idea. You have Google Recorder and Gcam 7.1 on the Pixel 3. I don't get into the whole side loading or anything like that. I'll wait. Although it's interesting, like if you don't want to upgrade, and I recommend you do. That's my personal recommendation, if only because of the 90 hertz screen and the demonstrably better camera. 9to5 Mac had, or 9to5 Google, I should say, had a breakdown of what apps or what features are coming in Pixel 3 and the 3A. Top Shot Live Caption, Recorder Plus Live Caption. The new Google Assistant's coming. Astrophotography mode will come. Car crash detection might not come. Dual exposure modes in the camera app may not come as well. Mamady says, I've been looking at some Pixel 4 versus iPhone 11 camera images. They both have great cameras, but iPhone 11 is a better all-around camera, but not by much. Depends on how you define it, dude. I don't know. I like my whites in photos white. I like my colors to be accurate. And there's just way too much warming all around. And I know by comparison the Pixel looks cool in terms of tones, but I guess it seems far more natural to me with the Pixel, but that's my eye. Oh, I guess there are iPhone users here. Sanat, sorry. I am using, these are the headphones that go over my ears. Sorry, you can't really see it. The HX Black Red String Edition. The HX. The Hicks. I'm using the Hicks Red String Edition. The wireless Hicks Red String. See, you can see. Look. See, HX Hicks HX HyperX Cloud something or other. I don't know. It works well enough. Problem is, it always conflicts with my wireless signal, my Wi-Fi. Audio constantly drops out in this, which is why I can't use the mic. But I don't think you're worried about that because I got the desktop mic, my classic AT2020. They used to run the old live stream. They're very comfortable. I could wear them for a long time. Very comfortable, and I wear glasses, so very happy with them. I do not use a wallet case for my Pixel. Jellyfish. Huge fan of jellyfish. Or a black case. If I find a nice black case, a clean black case that's not slapped with someone else's logos that protects the phone, I would probably get that one. But for now, I'm jellyfish. For now. Not that I'm thrilled with it. It gets scratches and dust and debris pretty quickly, which annoys me. But I haven't found anything better in the short term. I need something to protect it that's cheap. So that's why I went with this one. Ah. What can you use to safely clean the charging port on the iPhone? Spit. You just go. You stick your finger in it. That's what I do. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a great game you should try to take a look at. Okay, well, thank you. I'll try that. Or I'll look. I think the next game I'm going to be playing is going to be Hot Lava. I've been playing, of course, Cuphead on the PC. Jedi Fallen Order is either going to be played. I'm either playing it on the PC and streaming it, or doing it on the Xbox. I'm going to, although it's going to anger me greatly, if I don't play it on the Xbox after having bought it. I should probably cancel that, because you can get the Purge Trooper separately, and if I can get the PC version, then I'm set, because I'll play it here, right, and stream it that way in the game channel, the Chris Pirillo Plays channel, with highlights, of course, coming into this channel. I've never dreamed of Cuphead. The next game is probably Hot Lava. Then on the 30th, I'm probably going to be playing Dark. Very scary game, I guess. Those types of games. A few on my radar. On the Apple TV, with the Apple Arcade, I've been playing Super Impossible Road. On Android, I haven't really been playing anything, though. I have games installed. I like puzzle games. I usually only play when I don't have anything to do, which is never, or when I'm traveling. So I don't generally play games on my smartphone that way. Not always. Sometimes I'll just pick it up and put it down, swipe around a few times. I'm thinking no point of owning an Xbox One if you have a PC. Yeah, but I'm more of a... I like the fact that it's integrated with the TV upstairs and it's away from everything. That's kind of the fun aspect of it, versus here, and I'm kind of in front of the screens and doing things. This is like a streaming dedicated setup versus a Chris Pirillo just wants to relax setup, if that makes sense. A lot of the Xbox games have crossplay with Windows 10 PCs. Yeah, but I don't think Jedi Fallen Order is a title for that. I could be wrong. I just wanted the Purge Trooper, honestly. And now I heard that they'll be selling it separately. So I'm like, well, what's the point of me buying the game? I don't even think I don't think I have 4K on my Xbox One. I don't think I have the right connection for it. I have a 4K on the Apple TV on that particular. I mean, it's like jury rigged, right? It's like all these older technologies that came together, and then newer technologies replaced the older ones, and I don't know. That's why I don't upgrade my hardware all that often. Also, another reason why I tend to like consoles. That's me. Those are my choices. So we've reached an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wind down. I've covered everything that I think I've wanted to cover. So thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. As the link points out, and in the video description, you are welcome to join the Discord server. There are things happening. It's popping. It's not like, amazing stuff happening all the time. But certainly, it's a great way of finding out where I'm streaming, when I'm streaming, what I'm streaming about, things that are going on, tech news, from Microsoft to Google to Apple, general tech stuff, retro fun, dad jokes, Star Wars, of course, geek culture, video games. Oh, free game deals. That's what I need to tell you. Observer and Alan Wake's American Nightmare are free right now on Epic Games. Go download it. It's a free Epic account. Might as well get free games. If you're a PC gamer, or even if you're not, hey, they're free. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. I don't know if I'll have further impressions of the Pixel. I don't know what's going to be on my radar then. It'll be Friday. I will be here. doing nothing on in the evening, apart from probably puttering around, cleaning up. So thank you for joining. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the Force be with you always.